Ladies and gentle gamers, welcome back to To Be Determined. Today we have a brand new update including a new talisman, some new pets changes, the new Tablist system, and more. So make sure to smash that sub button, smash the like button, and let's jump straight into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is General Zod. He has been added to the dungeons, and he is in this brand new room, so there's nothing really too special about it. When you walk in, though, you'll notice him. He's pretty noticeable. Standing right here in front. So unfortunately, he is currently disabled, but this is the way that the room looks. Hopefully he'll be enabled for too long. But if you haven't seen his talisman, it's called the General's Medallion. It is currently extremely expensive, but it increases the base stats of your dungeon items by 1% while in the catacombs for each digit on your secret counter. So most people will probably have 3 or 4%. It does max out at 6%, so 100,000 secrets. But you can now see how many secrets you have based on this medallion. You used to not be able to tell how many secrets you had on which profiles, but they calculated it based on your bat kills. So it's probably not 100% accurate, but it should be in the range. It's a pretty cool talisman, brand new rare dungeon accessory. So it is a dungeon accessory, which means it will boost your accessory power by even more when you're in dungeons. So very important talisman to get your hands on. I'm not sure how much it costs from Zod. I'm sure it's way cheaper than 21 million, but if you do happen to find one of these rooms once Zod is no longer disabled, make sure to grab a bunch of these and sell them. I just tried to warp to my garden as well, and it says it is temporarily disabled, so I'm guessing the AFK pests may be coming in this update. Basically, you can AFK on your garden and pests will spawn now. Again, it is currently disabled, so I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's the only reason I could think of the garden being disabled. Now, before we get into the tab list, all of these pets have been reworked. So the ghoul pet is actually useful now. It's got combat XP that it gives against zombies. It increases the amounts of souls you can store in Reaper Scythe and Summoning Ring, and it reduces the cost for summoning those mobs. It also increases their damage output and their health, so very useful compared to what it used to be, at least. Then there's the draft, which now has some actually decent stats. It increases your crit damage and strength for every swing range over 3 you have up to 6. It also increases your melee damage if you're more than 3 blocks away. So it is actually a decent pet to have, especially if you have like a giant sword or a claymore. But of course, if you have those, hopefully you've got a G-Drag or something that is better. But again, it's not a bad pet. The golem also got a little bit of a rework. It now has swing range for its basic stat, and the cooldown on the toss ability is now half of what it used to be. Also, the last stand ability got a bit of a buff. It reduces your incoming damage by 20% when you're at less than 20 HP. You also gain a shield equal to 40% of your max health and deal 40% more damage. So this pet might actually be reasonably useful in Kudra if you're one of the gamers that uses Lifeline, but I'm not sure if that shield will count for health on Lifeline or not. It's going to be dependent on that. The Hound pet also got a buff. At level 100, it has 25 attack speed on it. It also gives combat XP against wolves now, and it has a much higher chance to find armor that is dropped by mobs. The Megalodon is actually really nice now. It doubles your stats on the pet during the fishing festival and increases your chance to catch sharks. Plus, it has sea creature chance and fishing speed as its ability now. So it's actually going to be better than Ammonite during a fishing festival. So very useful. It is very niche, but it is useful. Pigman pet basically got fixed. Its damage multiplier from Giant Slayer, it used to be a 25% buff that actually like never proc, and now it should proc every single time. Skeleton pet got buffed, increases arrow damage by a ton, especially in dungeons, so it's actually really good. But the skeletal defense shot used to bounce, and it no longer does that, so that's a little bit of a nerf, but the arrow damage up here is still insane compared to what it used to be. Snowman also got a change. Its range is now 16 blocks at level 100. It used to be 8, and it now makes enemies within those blocks deal a lot less damage and slows them down by a lot more. However, you cannot use it to AFK any longer. It will only attack with the snow cannon ability whenever you attack it. Spider Pet got some strength stats, and it now gives extra strength to arachnal weapons, which is the new term for tarantula armor and arachne armor, as well as the weapons. So if you have the weapons held, then it will count them as equipped. That's a bit of a buff for that. Turtle got a bunch of health and defense buffs, as well as some true defense added to it. They also reworked Turtle Tactics, so you gain defense and even more defense when standing still. It also grants extra defense percentages to 4 players within 50 blocks of you. It will not stack with multiple pets though, so if you're running this as a tank in dungeons, you need to be the only one running it. If your teammates run it, it's not going to help you. It also now grants vitality when you're under 40% HP, so that's a bit of a buff there. Wither Skeleton also got changed. It deals a lot more damage to wither mobs. It used to be a 25% multiplicative, and now it's a 125% additive, which is apparently better. Zombie Pet also got changed. It reduces damage taken from zombies now, makes you deal even more damage to zombies, and increases all the stats on undead armor based on the level. I think it goes up to 25%. That is everything that was changed with pets. I talked a little bit more about this on my video on the alpha, and as of me recording this, patch notes aren't out yet, but if they drop those, I'll make sure to link them in the description or maybe in the pinned comment, something like that. But now we get to the real good stuff. So if we do /tablist, you can see your tab list on the current island that you're on. So basically when you hit the tab button, this screen pops up and you can see what it's showing for me right now: my area, my profile, my pets that are training, the current fire sales that are active, the election, the events, and my minion. Now, I don't really care to see the current fire sales. I never buy those, so I'm going to disable that one. I would like to see the election and events widgets and the minions. We'll go ahead and throw the bestiary one on. That one's currently off, now it's on, and we'll show our stats as well. Now, some of these you can right click to change their settings, so I can change the election one to show on 2 different columns or show the amount of perks. I definitely want that, and I think I only want the top 2 mayors to be shown, because 3 doesn't really matter to me. So now when we hit tab, we can see Scorpius and Paul are the ones being elected, and they both have 2 perks, so that's a pretty cool one. I do like that. But now if we go to the hub, you can see my tab list is different. It has the fire sales back and some different things. So we hit /tab again. I don't want to see fire sales, and I do want to see the amount of perks that these guys have. We'll only see 2. You know what? I would like to see my essence and my bestiary, which we want our bestiary. I think that's fine. You can change the bestiary families that it shows as well, ones that are available only on this island. So I do actually have all of these mobs maxed, so we will turn that off since I've maxed it. We can turn on a Slayer widget though, but I also maxed those, so we'll turn that back off. But basically, there's different things that are enableable on different islands. If we warp to the Crimson Isle, you can enable the reputation widget, which I'm actually going to disable. There's the trophy fishing widget, and this daily quest widget is actually pretty useful. It shows your Aranya timer, your matriarch timer, so that's pretty helpful. So now when we hit tab, we can see which trophy fish we're missing. We can see that we have Aranya and the matriarch available, see how close we are on multiple bestiaries, which I don't know why it's showing zombie commander when we're on the Crimson Isle, but anywho, you can see it's very, very useful depending on what island you're on as well. If we warp over to the Dwarven Mines, they've got the skills widget is available. They got your commissions widget, the forge widget. So if we hit tab here, we can see how much powder we have, what commissions we have available, if we have anything in the forge. We can see that Fetcher and the Puzzler daily quests are available. So this is a very, very nice update. Again, we do have another QOL update on our hands, but at least we got a little bit of content with the new talismans and stuff. But again, the Primal Dragon update is not a part of this update. That has been delayed. They're going to fix various issues with it, which hopefully means that the armor will be nerfed, fingers crossed, but we'll see. Now there is a few more things that just got added, which includes the Architect's First Draft. So the Architect's First Draft is a drop from secrets, probably about the same rarity as a dungeon chest key if I had to guess, but basically it can be used to reset a puzzle room when in dungeons. So if you accidentally shoot the wrong blaze in the wrong order, then you can just use this and it will reset the room and you'll have a chance to do it again. So definitely a very useful. However, at the moment it is pretty expensive, so if you make a buy order for it and that actually goes through, then you're going to be chilling. But the ratio on this is a little bit crazy. But that is everything that I know from this update. Again, the patch notes have not been released, so it is very possible that I missed something, but that will be linked in the description or in the pinned comment once they are released. So make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to drop a comment as well, because I will be choosing a random commenter from this video to give an F ad. So if you want one, make sure to drop a comment. I will catch you guys in the next one. You'll have a great rest of your day, and God bless.